So now the list keeps growing of Democrats pushing back against President Biden's plan to lift Title 42 in about 5 weeks from yesterday. That's the Trump-era policy that allows border agents to turn away migrants due to COVID concerns. Senator Gary Peters out of Michigan, the latest Democrat breaking ranks with the White House. Kellyanne Conway, former Trump senior advisor, Mark Penn, former Clinton pollster and advisor. Nice to have you both back today. Gary Peters isn't just a Democratic senator, Kellyanne. He runs the Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee, and he says that these Democratic senators are right to raise questions about changing the policy. That tells me the polling in these states must be razor tight for re-election in November.
It is, Bill, and in fact, in Georgia, Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, Joe Biden's approval rating is mired in the mid to low 30s. And in Maggie Hassan's New Hampshire, another senator up for re-election who visited the Trump border wall last week and took pictures, Joe Biden's in the mid 40s. So they see that they've got a president and an unpopular policy here in revoking Title 42. You know, the Morning Consult poll has been tracking different Biden policy initiatives from the beginning, and 56% oppose this move by President Biden to relax these border control policies that President Trump implemented. This is the largest backlash we've seen in the policy. In fact, a year ago, President Biden's approval rating was 58% overall, but it was only 40% with respect to his handling on immigration. So this entire issue, border security, the drugs pouring over the southern border, the record number of people coming here, this has been a vexing, perplexing issue to the Democrats from the beginning of this Democratic White House and administration. And now he's got people in his own party running for re-election in states as diverse as New Hampshire, Nevada, Georgia, and of course in Michigan, where you've got the head of the whole committee. You know, Bill, last point. Gary Peters, Michigan, is much closer to the Canadian border than it is to the Mexican border. So he knows what he's hearing from his constituents in Michigan. I think the White House is making a big mistake not listening to the public on this and not listening to members of their own party on this.
You get the sense it's going to come to a head eventually here. Mark, how do you see it? You crunch numbers every day. Do you agree with Kellyanne, or do you see it otherwise?
Look, I think it's not mere happenstance that Democrats up for election or in swing areas are saying don't get rid of Title 42. I think the politics and the polling on this is extremely clear. I'm intrigued that the administration didn't so far appeal the transportation mask mandate, and it could be that they didn't do it so that they can then say, well, if there's no masks on planes, we can go ahead with Title 42. I don't know why the administration wants to push Title 42 in view of all this and all of this opposition. Certainly they'd be making a mistake.
Wow.
I predict they're going to pull back here.
Okay, all right. We'll see if that's the case. I think Dana and I are on record saying the same thing. We'll see how it unfolds. Another thing here, there are 41% of Americans, call for one, a worry about immigration. Kellyanne, that's the highest rate we have seen now in 11 years. But also in that poll, they find Democrats are not worried. And that shows a clear division among parties as to how they view the number of people crossing that border on a daily basis.
That's right. And in fact, the 56% I referenced that oppose Biden pulling back on Title 42, it's 60% support among Democrats, only 8% among Republicans, and 31% among independents, which shows you the independents are really aligning with Republicans on this. But Bill, I don't understand why this White House is not paying more attention to the public. They can't even take a win on yesterday's judicial announcement that you no longer have to wear masks. Instead of saying, well, let's see, they should be taking a win. They should not be taking the joy away from the public. And on this issue of immigration, I think they all look at it through the Donald Trump lens, and that's a mistake. They say, you know, Trump bad, we're good, Trump's wall, we tear it down. Spite is no way to run a country. And this is why his own Democratic base, the Democratic senators, are turning on him a little bit. He's really taken incoming. I'd be very curious to see what Senator Maggie Hassan, who won by 0.14% last time, she won by 1,000 votes in 2016. If she welcomes Biden's visit today, fentanyl is the #1 killer of 18 to 44-year-olds in this country, including in her home state of New Hampshire.
Interesting to watch. Mark, last point on this. We are often the only network that covers the border issue. No one else is there. And if they are, their stories aren't on the air, Mark.
Well, it's the number 3 issue. If you look at issues, it's the economy, it's the virus, it's immigration, and then typically health care. And so other networks should be covering it, although I agree with Kellyanne, it's mostly animating Republican voters, not Democratic voters in terms of the way it plays out. But then most voters grossly underestimate by a factor of 10 how many people are really crossing the border.
Interesting. Mark, thanks. Mark Penn and Kellyanne Conway, great pairing. Thanks for coming back this week, and we'll talk again next week.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.